Hey guys, it's Tammy. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to do a full face testing new makeup. There's a couple things I do want to test with you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I have already primed my face with the Laura Mercier Blurring Primer just because when I'm testing a new foundation, I like to use a primer that I'm familiar with. So I know that if I don't like my base that day, it's definitely the foundation that let me down. So the foundation we're testing today is actually the Natasha Denona Foundation X Plus. It says full coverage fruit complex. So I tested the Transfer Matte Foundation from Natasha Denona in my last testing video and I've fallen in love with that foundation. The shade is a little bit dark for me, but it's fine, I can make it work, and this is the exact same shade, 86Y dark. So this foundation does have like a ball inside of it, so you want to make sure you're shaking it well. So I've just pumped some of it out onto the back of my hand. So I'm just going to go ahead and dab that in. Shade is a little bit dark and a little bit orangey for me, but we're gonna make it work somehow. Definitely has a high medium coverage at the moment and it seems to be drying down slightly. The finish looks really nice. It's not super matte like the other one, but it definitely isn't too glowy, which I do like. But based on first impressions, I feel like I prefer the other foundation, the Trans Matte Foundation, over this one, just because the finish is a little bit more suitable for my oily skin. But this one is still a good foundation. I mean, the coverage is nice. If you do prefer a more dewy, glowy finish, skin finish, then you would like this one. So for concealer, I have this Body Collection concealer, which is sold in Wilko's here in the UK. So I'm going to take this concealer in the shade medium and I'm going to kind of use this to color correct. Oh, this feels very watery and like thin in coverage. It doesn't feel like something I typically would use. And use the same foundation brush to kind of blend that in. Yeah, that barely has any coverage. Like, that has barely done anything to change the foundation. It's a very thin, watery concealer. I don't feel like it's done anything special. So before we move on with the face, I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyes. And I have the new Makeup Obsession collaboration with Tiffany Illuminati. This is the Kaleidoscopic Dreams palette. How gorgeous is this packaging? But the inside, guys, look at these colors. It's like the color wheel, basically. I love the way that it's organized, so you kind of know what colors blend into what. If you're not a professional with colors, you obviously get the yellows that blend into the oranges, into the reds, into the pinks, into the purples, into the blues. Like, it's just so beautiful. And then you also get these shimmers in here as well. So these big pans in the corners and the little ones next to it are shimmers, but not these two and not these two. So of course, a rainbow palette, I feel like it calls for a rainbow look, so I'm gonna do a mostly matte look. I want to do like the rainbow around my eyes and then we'll do a shimmer on the inner corner. That is my plan anyway, so let's go ahead and try it. It does feel like a very nice, well-made cardboard palette, and I believe it retails for £20. You do also get a mirror in here, and yeah, it's just such a cute palette. I hope the quality is good, but based on my like experience using Makeup Obsession, their eyeshadows are really good quality. And if you don't know, Makeup Obsession is a sister brand to Makeup Revolution, but it's sold in Boots and I believe Target in the USA. So yeah, I'm gonna prime my eyes with the P. Louise eyeshadow base. This is the mini one that came in the Worldy collection. Yeah, this foundation is definitely not drying down. It definitely has more of a glowy finish than the other foundation. So I'm glad that I started out by trying the Trans Matte one, because now I know that that is my favorite foundation from Natasha Denona. I believe she only does the two, so it makes sense that she has two different finishes, one matte and then obviously this one, which is a little bit more glowy. Oh, I forgot to mention the collaboration. They also came out with these pencils, which are kohl eyeliners in colors, like they're colorful eyeliners, which I've been so into lately. You get so many shades in here. 5 eyeliner shades. You get purple, pink, lime green, blue and orange, which I can definitely see myself using, so can't wait to try these out. I hope they're not dry pencils because they don't look like the retractable ones. So I'm gonna start with yellow on my inner corner. Oh, there's 2 yellows in here. I'm not quite sure which one to go for. So there's this one, which is Glow Up, and then there's this one, which is Shock. I might just mix the two. I mean, they're both matte yellows. Let's go ahead and mix the two, and I'm just gonna stamp that onto the inner corner. Ooh, decent pigmentation. There is a little bit of fallout in the palette, but that doesn't really bother me. As long as the matte performs on my eyes, I can't complain. That's applied really nicely. I like the vibrancy of that shade. So next to that, of course, I'm going to go into the orange. So you seem to have a lighter version of the shade and then a darker version of it, like straight above it. So you have like the yellow, the darker version, the orange, the darker version, the red, the darker version. So I'm going to go into the shade. Once again, I'm going to mix them. I'm going to take this one, which is Pop Off Sis and Lava. So these two. And I'm going to put that right next to the yellow. Looks like this can look very intimidating, but they're actually quite easy to do as long as you know what colors blend into what. And this palette kind of makes it foolproof. It's easy to work out what blends into what. Next to that, I'm going to take a little bit of Poison, which is the red in here, reddish orange. I'm going to dab that on the edge of the orange. And then next to the red, I'm going to go into the pink, this one here, which is called Drama Queen. And this I'm going to put on the edge of the red so we can make space for the purple that's going to go right on the outer edge. So far they're really pigmented and they're laying down really like without any effort. They're just melting into the shade next to it, which is great. And then last but not least, I'm going into Toxic, which is that purple shade. Okay, so this is what we're looking like so far. Really easy to work with, really easy look to achieve as well. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to concealer and then I'll do the lower lash line after. So next I wanna try this Technic Bronzing Base Cream Bronzer in the shade Deep. I wanna see if this is deep enough to show up on me. I got this recently. It looks like my foundation shade a little bit, so I don't know how it's gonna be as a bronzer, but we're gonna try. This doesn't look like it's gonna work on me. No, that's literally like my foundation shade. Maybe even a bit lighter than my foundation shade. But maybe if you have a lighter skin tone, you might enjoy this. I mean, it's a big pot of cream bronzer and it's probably going to be like £10 or cheaper. I don't have a new concealer to test, so I'm going to use my Uoma Beauty Stay Woke Concealer in the shade Honey Honey T2. It's really bright for me, but hopefully it can just balance out this foundation a bit. Before I set that, I'm actually going to go ahead and do my lower lash line. So like I said, I'm going to try one of these out. I'm really leaning towards this lime green in the middle here just because I'm doing green and blue on the bottom. So let's go ahead and swatch these. These are the colors that you get in this set. So the purple, ooh, they actually feel really nice and creamy. Wow, look at that. Wow, these colors look amazing. So these are all of the eye pencils that you get in the set. I'm going to go with this yellowy green. Okay, so this one on the eyes just comes across as a yellow. It does glide on really well, like it is nice and creamy. It is a little bit harder than the Colourpop Creme Gel liners or the Beauty Bay liners, but it still applies nicely pigmented. It just feels a little bit harder, but it still glides on, like it is creamy, but just not as creamy as the other ones. But still, I'm not mad at it. I feel like this color is possibly going to be the hardest one to see out of all of the shades that are in the set, just because it is a yellowy green. But I feel like if you wanted to go with the purple, the blue, the pink, they will pop a lot more, but this one is taking a little bit of building up. Okay, so now that I've got that laid down, I'm going to go underneath my lower lash line with, I'm going to put this on the inner first half, and then I'm going to put Blue Electric, this one here, on the outer edge connecting to the purple. So starting with the green, which is called Acid, I'm going to literally tap that on the first half of my lower lash line. And now taking Electric on the outer half and slightly dabbing it into the outer V, like into the purple right here on the edge, just so it all connects together. And then back with the purple brush, no extra product, just blending that blue into it. Okay, so that is the rainbow eye. That's all the mattes that I'm going to use. It will come together once I get my lashes on. It's definitely bottom heavy at the moment, but once I balance it with lashes on the top, it will come together. But first, I'm going to use a shimmer on the inner corner. So these big pans are actually duochromes. This one's like, it looks white, but it's actually got blue reflex in it. This one's a pinky gold. This one's a purple silver blue. And then this one is like a pink that shifts purple and gold. So what I'm going to do is take the shade, I want to go in with this one Luna, which is that lilac purple shimmer, and I'm going to put that on the inner. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. In real life, it's got these gorgeous pinky purple blue reflect glitters in them. It looks really, really nice. But yeah, that is the eyes, guys. I'm gonna actually set my face before I go and put lashes on. So I do have a new setting powder, which is from a skincare brand. The brand is called Skincity, and this is their niacinamide setting powder. So it's infused with niacinamide, if you've heard of that skincare ingredient. I'm not quite sure if I'm sensitive to the ingredient, but every time I use like the ordinary niacinamide serum, I tend to break out. So I just stopped using niacinamide. Sometimes I use products where it's infused into it and it's fine, but when I use straight up niacinamide, it doesn't really agree with my skin. So I'm hoping this goes down well. But yeah, it's a translucent, I hope so, a translucent powder. It also has salicylic acid in it, which, I mean, I don't know how good it is for your actual skin because it's on top of layers of makeup. So I'm going to take some of that on a brush. It's a really finely milled powder actually, and I'm just going to press that underneath my eyes. It definitely looks bright. I mean, it's definitely setting the areas that I want it to set, but I don't know if it's translucent. It does seem to have a little bit of color. Probably not a translucent powder I would use all over my face, just because I can definitely see there is a tint to it. Possibly might cause flashback as well. But you know what, it does mattify really nicely, and I only used a tiny amount of it and it's definitely mattified my face, which is great. I mean, it's a cute powder, but out of all the powders I have in my collection, I probably won't use this again. I do prefer the RCMA No Color powder just because I feel like it's truly translucent. For the rest of my face, I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury powder, which I have now hit pan on. I do feel like it is a thin pan because it didn't take me long to hit pan on it, but I just love this, or maybe I have just been using it every day. So of course I hit pan on it. Now for cheeks, I have these two palettes from a brand called Cara Beauty. I believe they're US, it's an indie brand, and look at these palettes, guys. So this is Bronzed Goddess. So you get 3 highlighters at the top and then 3 bronzers at the bottom. Part of me does wish that they maybe split it into 3 duos, just because obviously if you're lighter skin, you're not really going to use this side, and if you're deeper skin, you're not really going to use this side. And it's just like face palettes, I'm like, But for me personally, looking at the colors, I could definitely see myself like mixing these two and using all of the highlighters. So for me it's good, but maybe if you're lighter skin, you won't get use out of anything but these two, unless you want to do your eyeshadow with the rest. You can definitely use it as an eyeshadow palette, but I just thought the colors look really, really cute. It's rare that you see a face palette go this deep. It still could go deeper, of course, but I'm surprised that I actually think that I could use most of the shades in here. So what I'm gonna do is take the shade Terracotta in the middle, just because I'm curious, and I don't want to start with this one. I'm curious to see if this one's gonna show up. Yeah, that's definitely showing up as a very light everyday bronze. Do you guys see that? Okay. I mean, I love the fact that I'm using the middle shade. I suppose if I wanted a deeper bronze, or like a more warm tone bronze, I can go for that one. Or if you're deeper than me, one of the shades in here will work for you as well. This is really nice. I like that. So also from the brand, they have a lighting hour highlighter and blush palette, which looks like this. Once again, kind of same layout as the, well, exact same layout as the bronzer palette, but you get 3 blushes and 3 highlighters up here. Part of me does wish that this was like a deep orange blush, but I think I'm gonna go with this one, which looks really light, but it has the orangey tone that I love. So I'm gonna take the clean side of my blush brush, take a little bit of this, and see what color it shows up as. Okay, that's definitely showing up, but it's not orangey like I like. It's a little bit pinky coral. I mean, it's definitely showing up, which is always a great sign when the lightest shade in the palette shows up on my skin tone. So really happy with that actually. It's just not my go-to type of shade, but it still looks really, really nice. So we're gonna do highlighter, and clearly I've got 6 to choose from because there's 3 in each palette. So the highlighters in the blush palette are a little bit pinky toned, whereas the highlighters in the bronze palette are a little bit more golden bronzy tone. So I'm gonna use this gold up here, and we're gonna highlight. Ooh! Ooh, wow! Oh, that is gorgeous. Oh, that is a lot of highlight, but that is beautiful. I'm gonna take my blush brush and kind of blend that out a little bit, but that is beautiful. How stunning is that glow? Love the formula of that highlighter. Really nice and glow from within, not texturizing, not glittery. It just looks beautiful. I really like these palettes. I feel like I'm gonna get so much use out of so many shades in here. I do wish the blushes were a little bit more orangey tone rather than pinky, but that's just my preference. If you are into pinky blushes, you would like this. Cara Beauty did also send over a few eyeshadow palettes that I'm gonna test in a future video, but for now I'm gonna go ahead and put my lashes on, and then I'll come back to you so we can test some new lip products from September Rose. Okay guys, and I'm back. So I've gone ahead and put lashes on, and this is what we're looking like. I told you it would come together. So we're gonna go ahead and try out the new September Rose Cosmetics lip glosses. So this is what the box looks like, and then this is what the component looks like. There's tons of shades. I believe she has nudes, clear lip gloss, reds, you know, whatever you fancy. Oh my god, look at this color. This is me. This is called Cake Cover. This looks like my, oh my gosh guys, this is my everyday type of nude. Look at that color. Love the doe foot as well. It's like a flat double-sided doe foot, so it's going to apply loads of product. So let me go ahead and open, oh, there's a dark brown. Let me go ahead and open all of these up. Okay, so out of the shades that she sent over, these are the three that's catching my eye. Of course, clear gloss to top my favorite nude lip combos. This one, which is almost like my skin tone, that gorgeous chocolatey olive yellow toned brown, and then this one, which is a little bit of a lighter type of mauvey nude. So what I'm gonna do is try this shade Carver by itself without a lip liner. Oh, it feels so lightweight. It's not sticky. It doesn't feel heavy and goopy. It's really kind of sheer, so good to be like a lip topper. Oh, it feels really comfortable. It smells familiar, like something sweet, but I can't remember what it smells like. But this is beautiful. A nice sheer glossy comfortable lip. Let me try a different color actually. I'm gonna try this one called Lambrusco. So I'm gonna take Revolution Glory lip liner just to define my lips a little bit. Now taking the gloss, I'm gonna go ahead and apply that. Oh, look at this color guys. Look at the shine on it as well. It's so lightweight. It doesn't feel like a gloss at all. It almost feels like a lip oil or a lip balm, like really, ooh, look at this lip. Okay, so that is everything guys. That's everything I wanted to test today. I am so impressed with nearly everything. The only thing that kind of let me down was unfortunately the Technic bronzing cream. Of course, it didn't show up on my skin tone, but everything else in terms of the bronzer, blusher, highlighter palettes from Cara Beauty, amazing. Oh, and the Body Collection concealer was really light and really watery and just not full of coverage. Not my type of concealer, so that's a no. These lip glosses from September Rose, gorgeous. The palette from Makeup Obsession and Tiffany Illuminati, beautiful, pigmented, blendable, colorful eyeshadows, so definitely worth it. The Natasha Denona foundation, it's cute, I like it, but I do prefer the other one over this just because the other one dries down a bit more matte. So if you do have oily skin, the other one is better, but if you do have maybe normal to dry skin, this would definitely be good. But yeah, that is everything guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of this look? I am loving this glow that I have going on. I know I'm probably going to be like an oily mess in an hour, but for now it's looking cute and youthful and glowy, all of that good stuff. But give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Take care. Bye.